Hey there, kids. It says this. It says write the pair of fractions as a pair of fractions with a common denominator. Okay? Common just means the same, and denominator is, of course, the bottom number right there. Okay? So we're trying to find a common denominator for 2/3 and 3/4. Now, what you use this for is you use it for comparing fractions together, okay? And sometimes kids like to guess. They like to say, well, gee, I think that 2/3 is bigger than 3/4. And just because they feel it was that way, but we really want to prove it and make sure that one is bigger than the other. So let's do that right here. We have 2/3 and 3/4. I'm going to do it down here. 2/3 and 3/4. Okay. And we want to make them both have the same denominator. Okay. I like to do it this way, like this. I'm going to go this way and I'm going to go this way right here. Okay. Now, we want to find something that is that both 3 and 4 will go into. So one of the things that we can do is we can start listing. This is called the least common multiple. Don't get it confused with the greatest common factor. We used the greatest common factor in our last lesson to simplify fractions. We use the least common multiple in order to make common denominators. And we're going to need to do this for comparing fractions, but also adding and subtracting fractions, okay? So let's find out. We have to find something that's in common between 3 and 4. We can start listing the multiples of 3. There are 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, and they go on forever, don't they? You can keep counting by threes forever. Okay, I put a comma in between each one of them like that. All right, now I want to find I want to find the multiples of 4, okay? So there are 4, 8, 12. What's next? 16, 20, 24, and they go on forever, don't they? You can keep going forever with that. Now we want to find if there's a common multiple between the top row and the bottom row. Well, there's a 3 up here, but there's no 3 down here. There's a 4 down here, but there's no 4 up here. There's a 6 up here, but no 6 down here. There's an 8 down here, but no 8 up here. There's a 9 up here, but no 9 down here. There's a 12 down here, and there's a 12 up here. We got a match, don't we? Okay, so there's a 12 and a 12. So we're going to make both of these fractions equivalent to or equal to something over 12. Okay, we use the least common multiple. The reason why we say least common multiple is if we were to keep going, 18, the next thing would be a 21, then would be a 24, and oh, look at, we got another match. There's a 24 there and a 24 there. You're going to have a match every 12. So we want to use the smallest one or the least greatest, which was 12 here, and there was a 12 right here, okay? All right, so anyway, we found the least common multiple between 3 and 4, and now we're going to make equivalent fractions, okay? Now, the way that we do that is we can say like this. We can say, and you've learned this before also, we can say 4 times something is 12. 4 times what is 12? Right, 3. And if we go up here, 3 times 3, we have to use the same number. If we used a 3 down here, we have to use a 3 up here. 3 times 3 is 9. Now, 3/4 is the exact same thing as 9/12. They're equivalent fractions. You can cross multiply to check if you wanted to, right? 4 times 9 is 36. 3 times 12 is 36. All right, so 3/4 is the same thing as 9/12. So we can come on up here and we can write 9/12. That's one of our answers. Okay, now down here we have to do the same thing. 3 times what is 12? Right, 3 times 4 is 12. And up here we can say 2 times, we used a 4 right here, we have to use a 4 up here. 2 times 4 is what? 2 times 4 is 8. Okay, now we just found out that 8/12 and 2/3 are the same thing. You can cross multiply to check. 12 times 2 is 24. 3 times 8 is 24. Yeah, so these are equivalent fractions right here. So our second answer is 8/12. Okay. 2/3 was the same thing as 8/12, and 3/4 is the same thing as 9/12. And now you could compare them. You could see that 9/12 is bigger than 8/12. Okay, and you'd be able to compare them easily because now they have the same denominators. Before it was hard to tell when one was in thirds and one was in fourths, but when we put them both in twelfths, then we were able to understand that this fraction over here was larger than this fraction. Now we're also going to need to use this for adding and subtracting, so it's not just comparing, but it helps us understand the fractions better. Now over here, look at this. Oh, for crying out loud, they gave you a 4 and a 3 again. What do you think the common denominator is going to be? That's right, because we had a 3 and a 4 over here, didn't we? All right, and they have a 3 and a 4 over there. It's the same thing, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to leave you to do this one right here. Go ahead and give it a shot. If you need help, come and see us. We will help you. All right, talk to you later. Bye bye.